back, Hurricane fans. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you like this video. Today we're going to be discussing, honestly, we're going to have a completely different receiving core next year. Recently, what we saw is that we had a transfer coming in at wide receiver, but someone that I really don't like transferring and maybe is telling us something, because typically you transfer to try and make your season the best so that your NFL draft stock goes up, especially when you're a junior or a sophomore. Isaiah Horton just transferred to Alabama. So right now we're going to be going into this season without basically 4 of the starting receivers. So Isaiah Horton's gone, Jacoby George is gone, Restrepo is gone, Sam Brown I don't think is coming back. So the Miami Hurricanes need to address the receiver position in this transfer portal thing. And right now what we've gotten CJ Daniels, who he looks pretty good. He had 460 something receiving yards or something around there for LSU. He was another transfer to LSU. 6 foot 179, prototypical Miami Hurricanes receiver. But right now, man, this is going to be quite a season, because we're seeing a lot of transfers going out and transfers going in. The transfer portal has completely changed everything. But at this moment right now, thinking of Isaiah Horton, that was like the one name that I did not want to hear going into the transfer portal. He was our 6'4", big-bodied speedster. Be real with you, I wouldn't mind if the Dolphins ended up drafting him next year, because he has all the traits to be an elite receiver, and he was showing it this year with Cam Ward. The one thing that I hope is not the case, where it's Alabama, so I don't know what quarterback is going to be at Alabama next year either, but I want to see. There's a lot of rumors right now that Carson Beck may be a transfer to the Miami Hurricanes. Again, Emory Williams is still there. I personally don't think that Emory Williams is going to start. I think we have, Fernando Mendoza. That could be a possibility. But right now we need to address the wide receiver position, because all of our playmakers are gone this coming season. So we're going to have a bunch of freshmen and sophomore that have never touched the field, getting on the field and getting snaps, which, again, it's going to be a completely retooled offense. Even Antonio Tripp has left in the transfer portal. So the offensive line, the wide receivers, and the running backs are all, we have Jordan, but it's going to be a completely different offense from last year, which is, we'll see what he can do with Cristobal and what he can bring in. I like the signing with CJ from LSU. I do like that signing. Pretty solid, and I think he will be the number one guy. We got to see. I guess we're trying to see what we have in our freshman and sophomore locker room, but this is going to be a very different season, because we have lost a lot of players. And, obviously on top of that, Cam Ward not being there, I'm very confused, kind of where Cristobal is going, because a lot of the top receiver recruits are gone. CJ Daniels was kind of up there, so he did land somebody, but just the pure fact of Isaiah Horton, I think, is a telling sign maybe from the quarterback position and where we're going, because Alabama, we don't know who their quarterback's going to be. So to transfer to Alabama from Miami, having this last year of what he had, is kind of like you're kind of scratching your head a little bit, because he clearly was going to be the number one receiver on this team. Like, they weren't going to have another guy come into this team and take over that number one role. He was going to be the guy. And clearly we are a passing offense. So he was going to be the number one guy in a passing offense. For him to just randomly want to transfer to Alabama when the quarterback isn't clear over there is kind of telling, especially the season that they had, where, they lost a lot of head scratchers in this season. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm trying to be optimistic, but we've lost a lot of different players this year in the transfer portal. And on top of that, don't know who our quarterback's going to be. Don't really see them, going for too many different people. If it's Emory Williams, I'm not really comfortable with that. I don't really see the clear vision right now. I think we landed a lot of players last year, and maybe this year a lot of them are starting to see where it's going to go next year, and they want to go to a team, because that's the key here. You want to get your draft stock up so that you can get paid. serious payment. And like I said, having Isaiah Horton leave, it's just, honestly, I just don't understand it unless he knows something that we don't know. Because, again, he was going to be the number one receiver on a pure spread passing offense. And the year that he had this year, he was under Restrepo, basically. He was going to be the guy that we get the ball to all the time, transferring to Alabama when they lost all those games. And, the quarterback, Jalen Milroe, is going to go to the draft. And it's just a weird scenario. And I'm kind of like, there's only one real reason why you do that. And it's because you see something that you don't like here. And, you want to go somewhere where you had the highest possible draft stock that you can get. And it's not going to be with Miami, which kind of sucks. Because like I said, going into this offseason, I at least thought that Isaiah Horton was going to be our number one guy. Like he was going to stay here and be the number one dude, take over that role for his junior year, and just be a number one overall draft pick, and a first round draft pick. But him transferring to Georgia kind of shows me that maybe we don't really know what's going to be the University of Miami this coming year. And again, like I said, Antonio Tripp has left, Chris Johnson has left, Isaiah Horton has left. Another offensive lineman left the other day. I forgot his name, 60-something or something like that. We've had a lot of players leave, and I just, again, don't know who our quarterback's going to be. So it's going to be challenging. I want to see what Cristobal does with this offseason to see who we can bring in, which transfer portals. Because, again, C.J. Daniels is a solid player. I think he will be pretty good. Maybe he can turn him into, another Isaiah Horton. But Isaiah Horton was the 6'4" speedster. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the guy that you want on your team. And to not keep that dude is kind of like, ugh, yikes, what's going on here? So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they sign any more receivers. I'll keep you guys updated on different things as well. But as always, guys, it's all about the U. Love you all. Peace.